Hello, everyone. I'm going to give everybody a couple of seconds. I'm a couple minutes early, but I am jumping on. I am Shavonne. Some of you may know me as Shay, and I am hosting the Wellness Takeover for tonight, day 3. So I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to go ahead and jump in, and once you're in, let me know by
Hello, everyone. I'm going to give everybody a couple of seconds. I'm a couple minutes early.
so I know that you all can hear me. How's everyone tonight? I hope everyone's doing really good. Make sure to share this out. As we've mentioned, if you've seen the post and as it's been going around, the more shares, the more that you have a chance to win. We are going to offer a prize at the end of this month. We're hosting this every night for the month of February. And at the end, we're going to tally up the most shares, and whoever shared it out the most will win a prize. And it may even be something as special as a gift from Peru from our leader, Dr. Angela Kujar. So I'm going to give everyone one more minute before we get started. Welcome, welcome. I see you popping in.
Tally up the most.
Thank you for coming. Hi, Marie. Hi, Keisha. Can you hear me okay? Let me know you can hear me okay. Thank you for the shares. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Shavonne, or you can call me Shay. I am the virtual assistant, executive assistant for Legacy Holistic Health Institute. But I am also a student of Cohort 8. Hey, everyone. Hey, Takesha. And tonight I am hosting the Wellness Takeover to share with you all my journey coming into Legacy. And my journey is a little bit more unique because I did start out as a part of the Legacy family building the school. And then I carried on to become a student. But for me, this decision to say yes to become a student or to work for the school, to me, both of those are equally important. So I want to share that with you guys tonight. Again, for those who are just jumping on, my name is Shavonne. I go by Shay. I'm a student with Legacy, Cohort 8, and I'm also the executive assistant for Legacy. And my journey with Legacy started a couple years ago. As some of you probably are in a place, I was in a place where I felt like nothing was working for me, and I had a lot of issues going on, and I was looking for change. But in everything that I was seeking, and everything that yes, Cohort 8, and everything that I was trying, nothing seemed to work. It seemed to be a hole in everything that I was trying. I went to another health coaching school previous to Legacy. I had tried different nutritions and diets and fitness fads. I even one point turned to the church and becoming this steadfast Christian. Like, I tried everything. I'm like, okay, something has got to work. A little background: I am a mother of 5. I am a student. I am a sister. I am a mother. Well, I said mother, but so I have a lot of things on my plate. I also I'm carrying around a lot of trauma from adoption, as I am adopted. And you know how it is. If we're not suffering or going through something from friends, family, or a man, then the next best thing is mother issues. So I'm healing from mother issues. And in that journey, I realized that I was finding a lot of programs and I was finding a lot of things out there that was starting the process of healing, but nothing was pulling it all together. Nothing was tying it in. Nothing was making sense. And honestly, nothing was working. And because of that, I was holding everything inside, and everything just kept building and kept just staying inside of me until it became disease. Also, disease. It turned for me into high blood pressure, chronic high blood pressure. Now, I am 34 years old. So at the age of 21, I was diagnosed with extremely high hypertension. It required medication, and it has required medication up until last year. I also have a heart murmur. So you combine the two, it was not a good combination at all. Medicine was not working. Going to different doctors and trying different to lose weight. I mean, everything that they were prescribing, nothing was working, and they couldn't tell me, why this was happening. I was going to a lot of different doctors, and they could tell me, you're too young, you're way too young to have blood pressure. Like what's going on? But no one could tell me, why it was this high. And in addition, no one could figure out why nothing was working, why the medicine wasn't working, the exercise wasn't working. The nutrition changes weren't working. Nothing would work. So they just kept piling medication. Until finally I decided that I wanted to have children again. I had a huge gap. I was 21 when I had my first daughter, and I was, I think, 27, 28 when I had my second and started having them. With those pregnancies came the risk each time, and each one of my pregnancies became more and more high risk, until the last one I had to have an emergency C-section, and it became a decision of, do I need to keep having children? And my body can't seem to sustain pregnancy. And even the pregnancy, that was a miracle. Doctors didn't know. They had thought that I was not going to be able to conceive again, had told me that. And then I started getting pregnant, and the pregnancies just kept happening. So that was a blessing. But as I said, each pregnancy was a huge trauma on myself and the child. So I decided, after having the emergency C-section, something had to change. The doctors weren't able to help me. My energy level was just horrible. Like, I could sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up. You know what I'm talking about? You still wake up. It's like no matter how much sleep you get, like, man, I'm still tired. It feels like I haven't slept at all. And at first I was contributed to, I'm pregnant, so I'm never going to feel rested. But it kept going. Even after the pregnancy, I just was always waking up tired. In addition to being tired all the time, my eating habits weren't the best. Either I would go long periods of where I just wouldn't eat right, or I would binge eat, or I just got into a phase where I would gorge food. Like, I just get started on something, I just couldn't stop. So I'm like, okay, that's not healthy. And it definitely wasn't healthy mixing in with the blood pressure, because through all this now, I'm still having the hypertension issues. And when you go to the doctor, I found myself having to Google a lot. Have you ever went to the doctor and you have a ton of questions, but you don't feel confident or comfortable asking the questions, or you don't understand something, but you don't want to come across ignorant, so you just like, okay, I don't know what they're talking about, I'm just gonna do what they say. Well, I wasn't comfortable with that. I'm the type of person, I need to know. Like, I need to know everything that's going on. I need to know why you said this. I need to know why you prescribed this. If you said a word I don't understand, I'm going to go Google that, because I need to understand. And for me, I didn't understand why the doctors couldn't give me any kind of education, any kind of guide. I mean, nothing. They could just think, all they could tell me is, you're too young, it shouldn't be happening, take this medicine, this should fix it. If it doesn't, come back, we'll give you another pill. Well, who wants to live like that? After a while, I'm like, okay, I'm really sick of taking these pills. And I can't even remember to keep up with the pills. And then even taking the pills, I still didn't feel a change. So that's another thing that didn't help. It's like, I didn't remember to take the pills because they weren't doing anything for me. Or at least I didn't feel like they were doing anything for me. So I'm like, okay, something has got to change. Well, in my case, the opportunity came to me to work for Legacy. So I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm at a low point. I'm trying to pull myself back together. Why not? But as I started working for Legacy, I started gaining knowledge. And I started being able to use the knowledge that I was gaining and apply it to my life and see changes. Now, it took me a little bit because, as I told you, I didn't start out as a student. So I'm helping in the background, but I'm watching, and I'm watching the other students, and I'm watching these students blossom. I'm watching them flourish. as these students are coming in, many of them, I'm there with them from the very beginning. Excuse me, even if they don't know it, I see them from the start to finish. So I'm watching some of these students and I'm like, wow, she's really transformed. Like, she went through this program and wow. So I'm like, okay, let me start applying this. So I started applying it, and I started noticing changes. And the thing about Legacy is you go to a lot of schools and they will give you nutrition, which is great. You need nutrition. You need it all. But a lot of schools they really focus on nutrition, and they really focus on like diets and recipes, which is all great. But with Legacy, what I found what was missing. I found the missing pieces. So Legacy brings it together. Because what I found for me, healing requires 3 things. It doesn't just require me getting my nutrition together. It doesn't just require me getting my physical aspect and exercising in. And it doesn't just require me working on my spiritual self. It requires me doing all 3. And it requires me doing all 3 cohesively, together, and in a manner that makes sense. So it requires me understanding what chakra is in balance, and what chakra and how that relates to what body system. And then using that knowledge, how do I apply that to my nutrition and my exercise so that I can get better? So it's not just a one thing, one kind of subject kind of thing like the doctors were telling me. And this is what I discovered. This is why what the doctors were telling me wasn't working, because it wasn't just about going home and fixing my diet and fixing me something nutritional to eat, because then I wasn't exercising right, or I wasn't applying a ritual. I wasn't looking into my spiritual self. I was just focused 100% on my nutrition, because this is what the doctor said. Or I would go to a different doctor and they would be like, okay, no, what you should focus on is your fitness. Exercise more, lose the weight, and you should see a change. So, okay, nutrition, I would forget again, or that would go to the wayside. I would focus on, exercising. And exercise, I'm going to tell you, exercising is hard for me. Exercising and the nutrition both were hard for me. Some suffer from addictions of drugs or alcohol. For me, I am addicted to food. Plain and simple. I will blow through a whole paycheck on food. And this might sound strange to some of you, but some of you I know can relate. Food, honestly, can make me happy. Food, if I get the wrong food or they mess my order up, it will make me sad and it can mess my day up. If I'm going through something and I need to feel comforted, I turn to food. If I want to feel a certain kind of feeling or feel confident or even just feel like a loving feeling, I can turn to a food for that and it will help. But I realized my relationship with food was not healthy. I wasn't having a healthy relationship with food, and I didn't have a healthy relationship with exercise. Literally, I would be in my living room crying, like, oh my God, I have to exercise. I have to do one more push-up. Like, I cannot do this. So even in my healing, I would find myself miserable. Like, this is the way to get better. Like, they say this is going to fix the depression. Because on top of the low energy, on top of the high blood pressure, on top of the other issues comes the mental and the feelings of inadequacy, the feeling of depression, the feeling of anxiety. It just brought so much more to the plate than just the health issues. So then turn around and they're telling me that to fix it, everything I love and I don't love, I have to do. I love food, but I have to change the food that I'm eating and that I love to fix what is wrong with me. How am I supposed to do that? I have to do something that I absolutely hate, and that's working out, to fix something that is wrong with me. How am I supposed to do that? Like, it was just like a possible task set before me. And I feel like a lot of people feel like that. I feel like they go to the doctor, and that the doctors who do tell them, well, you do need to exercise, or you do need to eat a certain way, they don't take into consideration the spiritual aspect, the deeper part, the part about the chakras being imbalanced, and how that will have and play an effect on your ability to choose the right foods and to understand what foods will work for your body. Because I'm going to tell you, not what will work for one person won't necessarily work for another person. Everybody out here wants to say, well, if everybody goes vegan, that'll work for everyone. Not necessarily. So what Legacy does there is it helps you find your path, what will work for you. And it will also teach you how to help others determine their path and what will work for them. It will teach you how to teach others how to check and see what is imbalanced internally and how they can use nutrition and what types of exercise to bring that back. Because not everybody's going to need strength training. Some people will need the yoga and the stretching. Some people will need cardio. I remember the other day, and I was having all these health issues, and most people would have been like, oh my God, I need to go to the doctor. But because of my education, my journey with Legacy, I sat down and I listened to my body. And my body told me, girl, you need cardio. And that is exactly what my body told me. And when it said that, hey, how you doing, Rachel? Thank you for joining. But when my body told me that, I was in shock because I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, I didn't hear that right. Because it shocked me to the point that just in this short period of being with Legacy, I've learned to hear my body and I've learned to listen to it. And I mean, when it came back so clear. It said, girl, you need to do some cardio. You need cardio right now. And with the way I was feeling, I didn't think I would be able to get up and do that cardio. But I did. I got up. I did a 30-minute cardio exercise and I felt brand new. The symptoms that I was experiencing, everything, that the chest pain, the headache, everything, it went away. I drank my water after that and I was good. But the old me, the Shavonne before Legacy, would not have listened. I wouldn't have understood what my body was telling me. I wouldn't have known what to give my body. And I definitely wouldn't have known what my body was saying. Even sitting there listening to it. And even if I had known my body was speaking to me, I wouldn't have known what my body was telling me had I not come to Legacy and learned how to tie that all together. And that's the great part about it. Like I said, a lot of schools do not incorporate the spiritual aspect, the meditation. And we're not talking surface meditation. We're talking meditation that gets deep. We're talking meditation that's going to get you deep and teach you how to heal that trauma. As I mentioned, I'm adopted and I have trauma from my adopted mother as well as my biological mother. And that translates to a lot of trauma in my DNA. And I think that a lot of us have a lot of trauma in our DNA. But that can be corrected and fixed. But you have to have the knowledge. And you have to have someone teaching you who has also been through this journey of healing. Someone who understands that, again, it's not just a one-part fix. It's not I can prescribe you medicine and you're going to be okay. Or I can tell you to go exercise and you're going to get up off that couch and go exercise and you're going to be okay. No, it doesn't work like that. And that's what Legacy does. It teaches you how to help others push through, because you're going to have to push through a lot. You're going to have to push through those days that you want to turn to food and you want to be unhealthy. As a health coach, you're going to learn how to push through and how to teach others to push through. You're going to learn how to help them push through that part that doesn't want to exercise. And you're going to help teach them how to listen to their bodies, how to meditate and really go within, because that's where it starts. It doesn't start by changing your diet. It doesn't start by getting off the couch exercising. It starts by first sitting down and going within. And even further than that, it starts by saying yes to yourself. And that's the same with coming to Legacy. When you come to Legacy, you're saying yes to much more than just becoming a health coach. You're saying yes to your own healing journey. You're saying yes to your mission. You're saying yes to your purpose. You're saying yes to your life changing in a way that you just wouldn't believe possible. Even now when I sit and I feel the difference in my body. I was telling someone the other day, I said before I was just living to die. And there is a difference between living to die and living to live. And let me tell you. And the other day I realized that I was sitting there, I said, before Legacy, and I know a lot of you are probably like, what is this legacy? But it's true. Before Legacy and before my Legacy family and my knowledge, I was just living to die. That's it. I was taking each day and taking what I had and what little I could scrape up, with little energy, with little joy, everything. And I was just living to die. I didn't have goals. I didn't really have a mission. I really didn't see the purpose. None of that. But after Legacy, or I should say during Legacy now, I understand what it means to live, to live. I wake up and my body is fresh, energetic. My mind is clear. My spirit isn't heavy. And that's because I've tied everything together. I know what to eat when I wake up in the mornings. I have a spiritual routine that I partake in, and that sets the tone for the day. It sets the tone not only for how my day is going to go, but what I'm going to eat and what exercise I'm going to do. Because the first thing I do in the mornings when I wake up is I give thanks, and then I listen to my body. And I listen to what my body is telling me. Then I do what my body is asking me to do, along with my spirit. Because that knowledge that I'm listening to, of what my body needs, that's coming from my spirit. And all of this has been brought out by legacy. Becoming a health coach, for me, it goes deeper than just helping people heal their health. For me, I want to help others live to live. I want them to experience the awakening that I've experienced. I want them to be able to wake up and know that even in impossible situations, it's possible. And that you have that knowledge inside of you. You just got to go inside. And I think that a lot of people don't know how to structure that. It can be overwhelming. It can be a lot when you're trying to teach yourself on your own all these different concepts. And that's where legacy comes in, and it ties it all together for you. It gives you a structured roadmap to your own journey, to your own healing. And then through that, it makes it clearer for you to be able to help others. So if you've been struggling, even if you've already been to health coaching school, because like I said, I went to another health coaching school before I came to Legacy, and I still was lost. Like after I got through, I felt like, okay, all I have is a bunch of recipes that I'm not going to use. They told me to exercise, but they really didn't give me any knowledge about what to exercise or how to exercise. And that was about it. So I was still wandering around like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, what am I supposed to do with health coaching? But coming to Legacy, when you leave, it's not, what am I going to do with this? It's like, where do I start? Like, where do I start? Where do I want to start with? Who do I want to start with? How do I want to start this? You have a sense of this energy that you can do anything and you can conquer the world. It reestablishes your confidence in yourself. Now, with that said, I also want to share some of the other great points about Legacy that makes the school, this institute, stand out from other schools. And the first part of that is the live meeting. Every week, you will meet live with your cohort. It's not recorded. You're not going to call into a line. You're going to come on camera, and it's going to be like a real college experience. You're going to meet who you're in class with. You're going to bond with them. You're going to experience group experiences with them. You will be able, because I know some people are like, well, it's online. You know, how do I get into that? Or is it the same as going to school traditionally? No, it is different. But where Legacy stands out is that we've tried to incorporate that. And that's part of the reason why we meet live every week. And we do ask that you have your camera on so that we can get to know you. And that because we are a family. I know during my first class, we had one of the students and she had her daughter in the background, and I kept having to cut my camera off because my kids kept running in. And so I say that because no matter what is going on in your life, don't let that stop you. Don't let that hinder you. And don't let that be a hindering factor where you're like, well, I'll have this going on and there's no way I could turn. No, because we're a family. So we're all understanding of that. We're all here for the same purpose, and we're all in this together. And then the live meetings will also give you experience. It helps build your confidence and get you ready to go out and actually practice what you're learning. You also get to practice coaching. So for those of you who are like, well, you know, am I going to be able to do this? Will I have the personality to do this? What questions do I have? Like, how do you help me actually be able to know that I can do this? Well, because we practice. We're going to practice. We're going to meet live. And you're actually going to do a lot of health coaching, mock health coaching, before you ever graduate. So that you are confident when you graduate this program, that you are prepared to go out and be the leader that you already are. All Legacy will do is build up on that leadership that's already inside of you. Legacy seeks to uncover that and seeks to refine it and help you bring it out. Another part about it is the support. As I stated, Legacy is a family. And anywhere you see Legacy, you're going to see some people under the post probably going dancing or Legacy for life or we are Legacy, because Legacy is really a family. Each one of the cohorts that have graduated and the cohorts that haven't, they become friends online and offline. There's meetups, there's activities. And the thing about Legacy too is we provide support well after you graduate. We just had a book launch for some of our students and our graduates who participated, and they were part of a book and launched their first book, and we had an official book launch in Atlanta, Georgia. And there again, many of the students, we came together. Even the students that weren't in the book still came to support their other students of Legacy. We had our first inaugural graduation last year in Mexico. And we have a holistic boot camp. This is for graduates and wellness leaders and healers. If you're a healer, and this is spiritual, not just doctors or nurses or CNAs. This goes to Reiki practitioners, massage therapists, yoga practitioners. This is what Legacy's for. It's here to develop and give you even more to give to others. And with the boot camp, we just take it deeper. We take it even further. And there again, we had Legacy students coming together to support, to see each other, and to take their businesses to another level. And even outside of Legacy, this family has grown to where the students support one another and they support their businesses. And we trust each other because we know we are Legacy students and we know what we're learning and we know the quality of what we're learning. It's easy for us to support each other. It's easy for us to say, yes, I want to buy my meal preps from her because I know that she knows what she's doing. And I know that she cares and she's going to put that extra into it because she's been to Legacy. Or it's easier for us to go to this Yoni practitioner over here because we know she's been to Legacy. Or it's easier to buy these body products from another one of our students. And these students are killing it. We have students that are building their own skincare line, that have their own Yoni practices and now are teaching others, that have have meal plans and that you can order. Let's see, what else do we have? We have health coaches, of course, but I love how the students have taken this beyond just health coaching. They're taking, and that's what Legacy gives you. Like, it started as a dream with just health coaching, but they've taken it and they've said, okay, I want to expand. I don't just want to health coach. I want to provide the people that I am helping, the people that I'm healing. I want to provide them with something that they can actually use and that's going to help heal them. I want to give them something that they can have every day and contribute to this healing path. And then I love the way they come back to Legacy and say, hey, this is what I've done. This is what I have. What do you think? How does it go? So for those who are still on the fence about Legacy, I just don't see how you could be. You can't go wrong by saying yes to Legacy. I do want you all to know that we offer a virtual open house. So you can come by. It's discoverlegacy.info, and that's discoverlegacy.info, discoverlegacy.info. And you can also call in. Our number is 1-844-385-1799. Give us a call and speak with an enrollment manager. Under our enrollment management, our managers are graduates. So you will actually be speaking with someone who has been through the program, who have graduated from the program, and who is actually using the knowledge that they gained from the program to not only health coach, but to actually give back to Legacy as well, because that's how much they believe in Legacy. They came back to us to help enroll other students into Legacy. You may also reach out to me anytime. Again, my name is Shavonne, or I go by Shay. And feel free to join us in our Legacy Wellness Tribe. It's a Facebook group, and it is for others who are interested in holistic healing and who are healers and wellness leaders, or those who are interested in learning more about Legacy and what it is that we actually teach and offer our students. This is the tribe that you want to be a part of so that you can learn more. And I hope to see you there. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope to see you soon in class. Thank you. Have a good night.